A tidal wave of liquidity is coming for Bitcoin. BlackRock has met with the SEC again. You may not have enough. The former governor of the Bank of England said they absolutely messed up, and even Gary Gensler is turning bullish. What do I mean? Well, we're going to dive straight into that very shortly. What I want to show you first is VanEck CEO Jan VanEck III expects Bitcoin all-time high in the next 12 months. It's an asset that's growing up in front of our eyes. Also, some good notes on the spot Bitcoin ETF and macro. So this is a tweet by Gabor. I want to play this for you and listen to the words that they're saying. The marketing team for Bitcoin. Yes, the BlackRock ETF is no good. We all know that. I understand. We get it. But the liquidity that these big boys are going to bring, and you're here now. Well done. Let's jump straight into what the VanEck CEO has to say.
My dad started the firm with the first gold fund in the United States, and so store of value investing is in our DNA. And I said, oh man, what's this Bitcoin thing? And I knew about it, you know, and I said, well, you've got to do the deep dive. So I listened to the podcasts, read the white paper, and I said, no, this is going to be an accompaniment of gold. And, you know, when I try to talk to people who are so doubtful about Bitcoin, I said, listen, that was in 2017, it was $3,000 a Bitcoin. It's up 10x from now. It's just, why are you surprised? Like, you know, remember China?
Why are you surprised? I love it. I love those words coming out of this man's mouth. Am I going to hold the spot Bitcoin ETF? Hell no, I'm going to hold it and cold storage. Obviously not in Ledger. We're going to dive into that. We'll listen to what he has to say, though. He keeps going. It's really good.
I know, like, large parts of China were completely undeveloped and unindustrialized 30 years ago, but things change, right? And so I think Bitcoin is the obvious asset that is growing up in front of our eyes.
I guess the two, and I watch it and I concede that it actually has behaved remarkably like gold and some kind of store of value. Proxy, I can't quite put my finger on why, but you do think, well, there could...
Because it's the best form of money that has ever been engineered, that the humanity has ever known. There's your answer, lady.
There'll always be some new thing that comes along. Bitcoin itself was innovative. There could be some new version of this down the road that takes people's interest. And number two, the Jamie Dimon critique that it's all...
Both these answers are so good. I'll stop interrupting.
There's so much nefarious stuff associated with it that there's still a regulatory risk that, you know, stymies it.
There's a lot of political risk around it, absolutely. But what I say as far as something else coming along, there's 50 million users of Bitcoin, so it's got network effects. I think it's impossible for me to imagine some other, what I call it, internet store of value that's going to get leapfrog Bitcoin. You know, so that's number one. As far as the, you know, criminality and all that kind of stuff, you know, listen, I don't throw the first stone if you're associated with the bank or any financial institution that's never been involved with criminals in one shape or another. I'll leave it at that.
Let me steer it back to safer territory. How about this? For 2024 in particular, and some have been scratching their head a little bit at the behavior of Bitcoin and gold because they're saying, are they trading off the real rates? What is it that they are trading off of, and what tells you that you think they're, if this is your gut, that Bitcoin itself will outperform next?
Well, it's the macro, right? So you just the stores of value that don't generate interest, which is why the investors like Warren Buffett don't like them at all. But they behave really in relation to interest rates, like you said. That's the big cycle, and interest rates are headed down, directionally speaking. So the macro behind Bitcoin and gold are very strong. By the way, they kind of do perform similarly. They both peaked in 2021.
I love this last part. It's almost at the end, and then we'll jump into it. But listen to this in regards to gold. Peter Schiff, you should be paying attention, mate.
Both been rallying this year. Obviously, Bitcoin way more than gold for different
But now
reasons.
Because it's better. 100% because it's better. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not seen anything yet. Background is playing up. Anyway, let's keep going on. So this is the former governor of the Bank of England, says the quiet part out loud. All the central banks made the same mistake. They printed a lot of money during C19 and the inflation was predictable. Former governor of the Bank of England. This is just really quick, 17 seconds.
And whose responsibility was it then, if both the central bank and the government lost control?
Well, I think all central banks in the West, interestingly, made the same mistake. And
who was directing them? Why did they do that? Why did everyone around the world in the West get together and do the same, the debasement to your purchasing power?
During COVID, when the economy was actually contracting because of lockdown, central banks decided it was a good time to print a lot of money. That was a mistake. That led to inflation. We had too much money chasing too few goods, and the result was inflation. That was predictable, it was predicted, and it happened.
That's pretty interesting, hey? The former governor of the Bank of England's saying this so blatantly. It's amazing how the mainstream media narrative is shifting. Hester Peirce, before we get into Gary Gensler here, SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce on spot Bitcoin ETFs, we should have approved one of these over 5 years ago. So the fact that we haven't done it yet is a mystery to me. Everybody calls Hester Peirce the crypto mum. We can drop the crypto. Let's just go with the Bitcoin mum. Well, let's just call her, out of respect, Hester Peirce. But this is what Gary Gensler on CNBC again. It's amazing. CNBC, they're a paid propaganda machine, of course. Sure, we know that. But it's amazing how the narrative's changing, and even the World Economic, they are turning pro-Bitcoin. I don't know if that's a good thing at all. Obviously, you know my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. But what Gary Gensler has to say, we'll let the man speak for himself.
On another topic, approval process going for a spot Bitcoin ETF. I know you're facing a window in early January. What does that look like?
Well, Sarah, we have, I think it's between 8 and a dozen filings. I'm a chair of a commission. I'm not to prejudge anything. So that's going through the process right now. And as you might know, we had in the past denied a number of these applications, but the courts here in the...
Said, you've been a bad, bad man, Gary Gensler. Now, you need to listen. We taught you a lesson, and you need to approve this for the people. Obviously, the spot Bitcoin ETF is not for the people, but you can hold it. You can front run these institutions. So are you here? Are you stacking sats? Because the amount of liquidity, the tidal wave that is coming in is about to get absolutely epic. Anyway, over to you, Mr. Gensler.
District of Columbia weighed in on that. And so we're taking a new look at this based upon those court rulings.
Based upon BlackRock saying, hey, we're ready for a spot Bitcoin ETF. That's what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen. It's got nothing to do with the courts. They could postpone, they could delay, and we're about 20 odd days away. Things are starting to get exciting very, very quickly.
Market.
Thanks very much, Gary Gensler. It's funny. He looks pretty chuffed with himself as well. I'm not sure why. Now, if you don't have a reason to be able to stack sats, listen to what Elizabeth Warren is saying. This is absolutely messed up. This lady here, Elizabeth Warren, hey, so giant corporations have taken advantage of inflation to jack up their prices even higher. Working families shouldn't have to pay the price for corporate greed. Why Price Gouging Prevention Act and big oil windfall profits tax would fight back. Wow. I responded and quoted straight out the shrug. Aaron Run tries to warn us. Thanks for Elizabeth Warren. Bitcoin fixed this. As you know, why do you pretend you're not behind a truly horrific agenda? Because now Senator Elizabeth Warren, who has fought against the banks on the outside for so long, is now teaming up with her buddy Jamie Dimon. It's absolutely insidious, incredible, the control that the propaganda, the lies, the misinformation that these quote-unquote unelected, well, they are elected, but who the hell's voting for this woman? Does nobody see it clearly apart from us fellow Bitcoiners? Like, it's absolutely insane. If you haven't read the book Atlas Shrugged, I highly recommend you do it. And if you are looking for a book for your holiday season, Bitcoin Evangelism, if you order it now, you will get it before Christmas, as Brian has said on Twitter recently. But it is TikTok next block. Read the books or eat the bugs. Truly terrific read. Elizabeth Warren, hey, I get caught up with this, and people are asking about God candles. Maybe we shouldn't call them God candles, maybe an orgasmic candle. Max Kaiser is saying that one is coming. It's already here. It just depends what currency you're evaluating it in. So the recent devaluation of the peso means Argentina just experienced a Bitcoin God candle. Okay, Argentina was the first place to see it. They're not the last. And we're just going to see more and more and more of these happening. What happens when the US has a $100,000 God candle? What's that mean for everywhere else around the world? I really hope you are stacking sats with everything that's coming up. The the hash rate, obviously people are experiencing high fees. If you need any advice or help with UTXO management, BTC sessions on YouTube, follow them there. And as well as hardware, obviously with the hack with Ledger as well. Highly recommend you get in there and you sort out your UTXOs because the fees are not going down. The price is not going down over a long enough time period. Really, you need to make the most of it. Just for people that hold, I'll be nice, I won't swear. In regards to people that hold an ETH, you're fucking idiots. Like, we'll stop it there. These ETH bros and these crypto bros, they drive me absolutely insane. I got caught up in that Mayan virus, and that's why it rails me and riles me up so much, because it's absolutely so delusional. But these crypto bros say, what happens when the block reward runs out? It's not going to be sustainable. Bitcoin's going to crash and burn, and they tout their bullshit proof of stake. If you're holding ETH, reevaluate. The new thing that's coming out, dunk sharding, it sounds like dog shit, absolute dog shit. Anyway, a little bit riled it up. I am pre-recording this on a Sunday, so we won't jump into the price, but at the moment it's about 40-odd thousand, 41,000, nearly 42,000. What I want to show you here, though, is Marathon breaks their own record and mines 125.8 Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. There's another tweet that I saw earlier where the fees that were paid in one block was about 7 Bitcoin. Absolutely insane. If you're not bullish enough and you need a reason to be able to stack Bitcoin, you don't have the conviction. The Prime Minister in Montenegro now owns Bitcoin. Absolutely amazing. Slowly, then suddenly, hey, and then we win. Now, Libertarian, Ingrid Robbins, I believe it's German or Belgium. I can't read, excuse my ignorance here, but Tua translated it for us here. Libertarian author advocates confiscating 100% of inheritance above $200,000. Study shows that now 70% of Belgian savings come from inheritance. Is that any wonder in a country with the world's highest tax rate? Malaya's right, socialist desire to tax is unlimited. What's the solution, ladies and gentlemen? It's this. It's Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin in the background. We've got a Bitcoin flag there. Stack sats and chill. And then you don't need to worry. What happens to our friends and family who don't get it, who aren't stacking? This is something that keeps me up at night. All we can do is stack for them, for the people that we love and that we care about. If you're here now and you're playing around in that altcoin casino and you have no idea what the hell you're doing, sorry, I am not sorry. I think those words sum it up best. It's the world's hardest form of money that's ever existed, that will ever exist, that's ever been. It's been engineered and it's absolutely perfect with the world's largest computer network, and you're stuffing around playing with proof of stake stuff. I guess there's no helping some people. So if you're here now, do what you can, stack and chill. I'll say it quickly. It's not financial advice, but study Bitcoin. Please read the books. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck eating the bugs. That is literally the agenda, for you to eat the bugs, which is absolutely insane. And I know I'm a little bit riled up. It is what it is. I just want people to get the message that you need to get to 1 Bitcoin now. If you have the opportunity to get to 1 Bitcoin now and you've been horsing around for the last, 2 years plus, even if you've been here for the last 6 months and you're horsing around, you have the capacity to get to 1 Bitcoin and you haven't, what is going on? You've obviously not read enough. Please read the books. Anyway, blue collar Bitcoin, this is really good. So what people like Warren and Jamie Dimon are really saying about Bitcoin is this: big banks and large financial institutions can hold the underlying. They can hold the real thing, but you, the average Joe and Jill, cannot. Bitcoin is quite possibly the most empowering monetary technology in human history. And that's largely because anyone can fully possess it in its most pristine form. Any and all attempts to limit self-custody and encumber decentralization are affronts to the liberation, fairness, and freedom that Bitcoin allows for. Our financial system is widely and increasingly inequitable because of excessive centralization, manipulation by the powerful. Bitcoin is reversing that Senator Warren and other naysayers dig deeper. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit tongue-tied. It's like 96% humidity outside. It's been a big day, and it's sort of why I'm looking like a beetroot here. Anyway, going over to James Lavish. Highly respects this man. Look forward to having him on the show. Good evening. Fed Chair Powell sees 3 rate cuts in 2024. Fed's Bostic sees 2 rate cuts in 2024. And New York Fed President Williams says Fed isn't really discussing rate cuts. Meanwhile, the market is anticipating between 5 and 6 rate cuts in 2024. Have a great weekend. One other thing that is absolutely bullish, because they just make the money printer go burr and we all get excited and Bitcoin price pumps. I fear how much the Bitcoin price is going to pump, because none of us have enough for what is coming. You think it's expensive now, it is going to get absolutely hectic. Do we get a Santa Claus rally? Is it buy the rumor, sell the news with the ETF? Who cares? It does not matter. Zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out, and we'll bring up the chart to show this fact a little bit later. But you're going to be massively priced out of owning one full Bitcoin. Yes, you're always going to be able to stack sats. I get that. But at what price are you stacking those sats? So, anyway, we'll move on. I'll calm down. And usually I'm more chilled. For everyone that's subscribed recently, I will give you the news with the fast facts. Usually they're more mellow-headed than this. I just want people to get the message that this is important. This is your freedom. There is a global war of evil and good going on. The truth will always prevail, but you need to fight on the side of truth, and that is Bitcoin. So BlackRock has met with SEC yesterday. This is a day old to discuss its spot Bitcoin ETF. December 14th they met, so 2 days old. My apologies. You think they're not going to approve the spot Bitcoin ETF when they're having this many meetings? Does anyone think that? Like, let us know in your chat. Maybe something comes up on January 5th to 10th. Maybe. It's possible. Absolutely, it's possible that happens, but it is coming. I am convinced it's going to happen the 5th to the 10th. Am I wrong? Happy to be wrong, because we will get an opportunity to be able to stack a little bit more. I am not counting on it. I'm not a betting man. I'm not a gambling man. If I was, I would put my money on them approving it. Now, the WEF, we've covered this a lot, and I've been showing you how the agenda, I've got the receipts here on the channel, the agenda is changing 6 years ago to the day, so this is December 15th, a day ago. In 2020, Bitcoin will consume more power than the world does. Okay, that's absolutely insane, absolutely ridiculous. Gandalf said it best himself. Gandalf must be a wizard, hey? But in regards to that, the World Economic Forum is now, they slowly, as we've been talking about, I said it would have to be slow and steady, that they couldn't just turn pro-Bitcoin, so they put out an article in regards to a data center showcasing a Bitcoin mining corporation, but they didn't say it was Bitcoin mining. A couple of months later, maybe about 2 or 3 months later, they release another article naming that Bitcoin company by name, saying Bitcoin is good for the environment. The things in the New York Financial Times is coming out, and we are seeing that they are turning pro ESG. Bitcoin is ESG. It's absolutely amazing. Now, flipping gears, this is the author of Bitcoin Evangelism here. This is not related. I just thought this was a little bit of food for thought, because Bitcoin Satoshis are going to be used to pay for AI. This is a little bit scary, a little bit sinister, a little bit off topic. I like going down these rabbit holes now to see where they lead us out into the future. 6, 12, 18, 24 months, 5, 10 years. Could AI be used to prosecute for pre-crime? Could it be used as evidence post-crime? Pre-crime, the state makes an AI matrix of all possible decisions you would make in a given situation. What if the state asked your AI representation if you would assassinate politician X? Could you be deemed a danger to the state and thus prosecuted post-crime? Say someone is murdered. Could prosecutors ask your AI representation if you wanted to do harm to that person? Could AI testimony be allowed in court with the same amount of validity as you essentially testifying against yourself. Bloody hope that is not the case, and let us know if you think AI is going to go to that level. Interesting, hey? Wow, what a time in history that this is starting to turn. The potential for this to actually happen is happening. How do we fight against it? I guess Elon Musk with Twitter, with X, with what he's doing, maybe that combats it. And with CBDCs, this is how they entangle you, they lock you up. So there is a way out. You can opt out with Bitcoin anyway. What I want to show, and this is today, I get it, this is pre-recorded, so this is Sunday my time that this is being recorded, but 1.65 trillion, Bitcoin price $41,979. Cool. The price is going to change between now and when you're watching this. I understand, I get that. The last 7 days, we had a high, 44,000, and we're sitting just under 42,000 there. Does it matter? No. If we look at the last 2 weeks, we're at 39,500, 39,000, 400 and something, basically. And we're here now. Do we get a Santa Claus rally? I don't know. More than likely, we do. And then, do we get the buy the rumor, sell the news? Absolutely possible. The potential for it is there. Don't count on it. Just stack, just chill. A good point someone said in my comment section was, why do you always say only buy on the red days? That's not a good messaging. For those of you who have joined me recently, there's another half to that. Yes, I think the red days is you push the big button, and I'll bring up the big red button because we have the big red button today, which is absolutely fantastic to prove my point. So bring this up here. When it's like this, you get to push the red button because it's a buy. The reason why I say buy on a red day is because when we get these $10,000 and $20,000 price moves, which are coming, they are going to happen. I don't want you to flip out, to get scared. I want you to be able to stay calm and collected. Not like when I was talking to the ETH bros out there, but when we see these huge moves, just talking about the ETH bros, when Bitcoin has $10,000 and $20,000 moves to the downside, it's going to happen to the upside as well. But when it has it to the downside, the ETH bros are going to get absolutely fucked. Don't be that person, please. If you're watching this, please do not be that person. Anyway, when you're smashing that buy button, then you're pushing when it's red. Just keep stacking, follow your DCA plan or whatever it is, buy on your payday, however it is that you stack, but on the red days in particular, if you can turn the red days into a positive, when we have these massive days and you push that button, when we have a $10,000, $20,000 drop, you're chill, you're calm, you're collected, you don't worry about it. But thanks for very, very much for bringing that up in the comment section. Every day is a bloody great day to be buying Bitcoin, especially at these prices before the spot ETF. Obviously, do not store it on Ledger. Get it off, and get it off the exchanges. If you're holding your Bitcoin on the exchange, you've not learned anything, or you're new to the space. If you are new to the space, I want to say one thing. The exchanges, we've seen so many collapse and so many people get destroyed and lose all their Bitcoin, and there's nothing you can do when that happens. So please hold it in cold storage. I did a video the other day with Tony from the Bitcoin Way. You can reach out to them. There's no affiliate link or anything. I'm not paid to say this. If you need help putting into cold storage to sort out becoming a sovereign individual, talk to Tony or the team at the Bitcoin Way. If you need help, otherwise, just read the books. Learn all that information is out there. You just need to take the time, do it slowly. But as quick as you can work it out, get it off the exchange, please. This generational wealth, it's like leaving it on the exchange is playing Russian roulette with yourself. Absolutely insane. Absolute madness. So a few more things I want to jump into. If you're still not convinced to be buying Bitcoin, here's another one for you. Bank of China completes the first cross-border digital yuan commodities trade. So the Bank of China, Hong Kong, the second largest bank in the region, has completed its first cross-border digital yuan-based trade. The transaction finalized with its sibling Bank, the Bank of China, served to receive the payment for an imported iron ore commodity bulk trade, establishing the digital yuan as an option for this kind of settlement. That's $3.4 million. Why do I bring that up? Why do we care? Now China's doing it, and it's actually happening. It's sort of already been happening for a long time. Cross-border, now this is happening. Now the West needs to catch up, and they will catch up. And we're seeing the likes of Senator Elizabeth Warren putting out the propaganda alongside Mr. Demond in regards to CBDCs. They want to control you. They want to control your mind. You have an opportunity. You can't change Bitcoin, but by studying Bitcoin, it will change you to be able to break free from the matrix, from the system, to be able to think and see, to be able to think clearly, to be able to see clearly, to be able to understand that it is a distortion that they're trying to put you through. All the propaganda through mainstream news. You need to be careful what they say. And that's why I sometimes comment when I am playing those videos off CNBC, because it's another PR firm for the big banks. But it's interesting how they are turning pro, and that's why I'm worried about. They are turning pro Bitcoin slowly, suddenly, and then Bitcoin's going to be everywhere, and the marketing that's going to happen for Bitcoin is going to be absolutely massive, amazing, incredible. It's going to send the Bitcoin price through the roof, absolutely through the roof. When does that happen? Probably sooner than you imagine, higher than what you imagine. If it doesn't happen, that's cool. Cheap sats. And it just allows you to keep on stacking before you're totally priced out of reaching whatever your goal is, and then your stretch goal. But when they put out this propaganda, you need to be careful with it. And now, let's flick gears. Ledger, if you're using them, and Ledger vulnerability put the DApp ecosystem at risk. So decentralized applications, DeFi, it's a whole load of shit anyway. Ledger's a whole load of shit. Like, Ledger, fuck you. Absolutely fuck you. They're not just Bitcoin only, and that's their problem. Use the Bitcoin only firmware, software, hardware. Bitcoin only exchanges. I use AMBRAP. Yes, there is an affiliate link for that in the description. Use it or not, I don't care. They work in Australia. They work in the US. Absolutely beautiful, clean, cheap, easy to use, easy to be able to set up. Swan as well in the US. I don't have an affiliate link for them. Whatever it is, use a Bitcoin only companies, and only interact with Bitcoiners, because aside from me, they're all a whole lot more chill. And usually I'm a little bit more chill, calm, collected, relaxed. I get it. You know, this is my life. I seek out nature. We go on holidays to look at leaves, my wife and I. But I just want people to get the message that if you're stuffing around with Ledger, if you're stuffing around in DeFi, you may lose it all, like people are doing. Their bloody monkey pics. There's people stuffing around with their monkeys. Being bloody monkeys. If you're holding a monkey, you probably are a monkey. I think that's a fact. It may not be a fact, but I'm 90% sure if you're holding a monkey, you're a monkey. Anyway, sorry for anyone that's holding any of those shitcoins out there. If you feel like your feelings are hurt, what I want to say is, I don't know, maybe you're expecting a story. I'm fucking not sorry. I'm not sorry at all. What I want you to do is take a big, hard, good look at yourself. Maybe I won't go to Bitcoin toxic, but go for a cold shower or jump into a plunge pool and go inside yourself, think deep, and ask yourself, what the fuck are you doing in life? You've got an opportunity here to be able to sort yourself out and your future out, and you're stuffing around with monkeys and with Ledger. So anyway, basically with Ledger, for those of you who don't know, and yes, I've gone way off the rails today, we'll blame it on the humidity. And actually, I don't blame it on the humidity. I'm just sick of people being fucking idiots in DeFi and crypto. There is no second best, as Michael Saylor says. It is be a slave and eat the bugs, or eat the bucks. Yeah, the fiat. Enjoy your fiat shit. That's fine. That's happy. Otherwise, we have Bitcoin. It is hope, it is freedom, it is truth, it is life. It allows you to go inside yourself and be happy with yourself. And, you know, some people come here, most people, I got in, and I came into crypto at the start, and I came for the money, and then I found Bitcoin, and then I stayed for the revolution that it is, for the freedom, and to be able to not be a slave. Anyway, the Ledger connector vulnerability put the entire DeFi ecosystem at risk, with market experts asking users to remain cautious of using dApps even after Ledger released a patch. As I said last week, if you are still using Ledger, wait. If you need to reach out to the Bitcoin advisor, or again, BTC Sessions on YouTube. He can show you how to use your Ledger with Sparrow Wallet. That's a good first step. If you need to, and that while you're waiting for another wallet, and I don't recommend anything, BTC Sessions, again, is the best place to go for there. Do that, or at least start studying it, because Ledger is an absolutely disgrace. I know this was a little bit more heated. I apologize. And I'm not blaming it on the sun. I'm not blaming it on the humidity. I take 100% full responsibility. I do my best not to swear. So if we let me start that again. If we vibe, hit subscribe. You will get the news with the fast facts. Every week I will drop a podcast as well with some of the brightest, best minds within Bitcoin. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm not cutting any of my mistakes out of this. You're getting it raw. That's the truth. Sometimes I fuck up as well, and I fucked up when I got into DeFi and in crypto. But then you find Bitcoin, and I'm okay with my fuck ups, because I know if I fuck up, I'm falling back on a solid foundation. Anyway, that's the message today. Just stack, just chill, be blessed. Peace.